Hi guys, Serena here. How are you? I hope everybody's doing well. I am great. I'm in a really good mood today. I've kind of calmed down a lot because I was like extremely hyper earlier, so I've come down a few notches. But I hope you guys are okay. I wanted to come on and talk about Michelle Williams and Demi Lovato, and them in particular because they are celebrities. You know how that goes. You're put on a pedestal, you're expected to behave a certain way. You're kind of hush hush about some things, or you overshare. But they don't expect you to come out and say when you are suffering, when you're going through something, when you're having a weak moment, or if you even consider it weak, but you're just exposing what you have going on. And I respect both of them for doing so. I respect both of them for living out loud and not allowing themselves to be put in a box, and allowing themselves to be human, especially Michelle Williams. Demi Lovato was kind of, this particular incident was against her will because TMZ tells everything, but she's been very vocal about what she has going on and her addictions and all of that, and I commend both of them for it. And I just wanted to talk about depression itself. The definition of depression is a feeling of severe despondency and dejection. And then it goes on to say depression causes feelings of sadness and or loss of interest in activities once enjoyed. And I specifically wanted to talk about the definition of depression because to me, as a, yes, we are human, but as spirit beings, to me, depression comes when your spirit no longer agrees with something that you're doing. If you pay attention to how you feel, if you are a person that is very in tune with your emotions and you really take a step back and pay attention to how you feel, when you feel certain things, if you notice, 9 times out of 10, it's because it's something that you don't agree with on the inside. Not what you're telling yourself in your mind, not what you've made sense out of, not that you're, believing this illusion of the situation, but literally just how it makes you feel. That's when depression kicks in. When you're telling yourself you have to do certain things, but you don't really want to do it. Or or the situation, what's involved in the situation just makes you feel a certain way. And this happens a lot with celebrities, but they just don't always speak on it because you're in the limelight. You are portraying a character. They don't expect you to be an actual person. And I think that's why Cardi B is loved the way that she is because a lot of people love the fact that she's real. She is who she is. She's ghetto. She's ratchet. She is who she is. She's the roundaway girl. A lot of our home girl up the street. That's who Cardi represents. And a lot of times we don't see that with celebrities. Now, it's I'm happy that they're pointing out what's going on with them, but I want us to be mindful of depression and where it comes from. When you feel the need to play a certain role, or your spirit is screaming at you that this is just not working anymore, it doesn't make sense, you're unhappy for a reason, slow down and listen to it. If you listen to Demi Lovato's music, she's very authentic. She speaks about how she feels, how she genuinely feels, and you can tell because you can hear it in her voice. As an empathetic person, I feel her when I listen to her music. Her and Janae Aiko are the most authentic people nowadays in their music. In HER, or her, however you say it, her too. But she's in one song in particular, she says how she only has the feeling of depression when she's lonely. She only wants to go, do drugs or something to pass the time when she's lonely. And that's the life of a celebrity. When everything gets quiet, when you come off the stage and you don't have the energy of the crowd to feed off of anymore, when you don't have your friends and family around all the time, when you're not celebrating things and having drinks, or you're not in the studio, when you're somewhere and you're sitting quiet and you're allowing your mind to go wherever it needs to go, and you're really thinking about where you are or who you are or what you have going on, and you don't like what you hear, when your spirit is talking to you, that's when shit hits the fan, which triggers depression, because you get sad, you get anxiety, you don't know what to do with those feelings. You're trying to talk yourself out of it rather than allowing the feelings to be what they are. You reject it, and that's when it turns into depression, hence the definition. So I hope that we get to a place where it's open dialogue about what depression is, what the triggers are, where they come from, and the information is out there, but we don't really talk about it. We don't really discuss what where it comes from. Even Michelle Williams said it. Being in such a popular group, trying to be her own person, trying to be an individual. When you stand next to Beyonce, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. When you are the best selling female group of all time, that's a lot of pressure. And Michelle Williams has been bashed for years on years on years. So I can imagine how she feels when she sits back and thinks about all the comments that have been made about her, whether she likes it or not. And then you have to keep a certain persona. You have to be, on when you're on camera, and you have to be pretty all the time. Your makeup has to be done, and your hair has to look good. And then you're marrying a preacher. So then now you're a preacher's wife. So that's a whole nother level of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like that, all of that stuff builds up. And if you don't know what to do with it, if you don't know how to process it, if you don't even allow yourself to process it, if you don't even give yourself time to process it, these are the type of things that happen. So I just wanted to discuss that. Give me you guys' opinion. Let me know what you think about it. That's my take on it, seeing as though, me personally, I've been through it. I'm like slowly coming up out of it myself. And then we're in a society where we don't really know what to do. Somebody can come tell you that they feel like they're depressed, and you're like, okay, like you don't even know how to respond. You don't really know how to help that person. You may not have the means to go see a psychiatrist, and it has such a stigma to it. A lot of us won't go talk to anybody. We'll just self-medicate with the drugs or the alcohol or sex or, staying busy or work, or we find ways to keep ourselves busy so that we don't have to think about it. We don't have to actually sit in it and figure out what's going on, and we don't know how to respond to each other. I saw something from Essence Fest where Ayanna Van Zant, she said, we have to learn how to sit with people in their pain. And we don't know how. So many of us are walking around in pain so that we can't even relate to the next person because we haven't even paid attention to our own. We haven't taking time to identify with it. So the next person, what it is subconsciously, what it is, you can relate to them. So y'all can sit and you hear them and you know what they're talking about, but you don't know how to be there for them. You may be numb to it, or the first thing you do is try and, tell them what they need to do. Or, girl, well, you just need to go. Let's go out. Let's go to the club, or get you another man child. You just need to do some good sex. Like we do whatever to kind of pacify it, but we don't necessarily talk to the person. We don't necessarily and sometimes you don't even need to respond. Just listen. Just allow the person to vent. Just get it off their chest. Just let them say whatever they feel like they need to say. So, but we just don't know how, and that's not something that you can be trained on, or you know what I mean. Like it's a situation that has so many layers. Like it goes deep, but so many of us are walking around with we're functional depressants, and we don't even realize we are. We've gotten to a space where we know how to function in it, but we're never healing. We're never actually fixing the problem. Like I was talking to my coworker yesterday, and she told me about some medicine that she's on, and she read the bottle to me. And the bottle said something about it. Long story short, I don't remember the wording, but it pretty much said that it will pacify it. It will, get rid of the symptoms. That doesn't mean that it's curing you, though. It's not fixing the problem. It's just making it bearable for you. And that's what we do on the day-to-day basis. That's exactly what we do. We do things to help us get through the moment, but we're not actually fixing it. So as soon as whatever you're doing to pacify that moment wears off, it comes right back. You have to deal with it whether you want to or not. And we're in a time where you don't have no choice. If you are a spiritual being, you feel the energy shifting. Even if you're not, look at the times that we're living in right now. All these celebrities that are being exposed, Charlemagne and, Michelle Williams coming out, or, Roseanne, and all these people are being exposed. Everything is being put on Front Street. Everything that Trump is doing, everything is out in the open. So if you've been running from something, get ready, because it's about to come out. That doesn't just apply to them. So whether you want to or not, God is going to put you in a position where you're either going to flow or flop, okay? You're either going to grow or you're going to get knocked on your butt. It is what it is. Now, is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But now you'll see who your real circle is. Now you'll see who's really about you, because you're going to need these people. And if you haven't been choosing your groups wisely, if you haven't been creating your circles where you have people around you that really care about you and they want the best for you and will help you get there, it's about to get real rough. And even if you do have that circle, it's still going to be rough, because this is an individual walk. You can have people beside you, but you have to walk this walk. You have to go within and figure out what's going on, what needs to be worked on, what needs to be repaired. And it's up to you of whether you're going to do it or not. You're going to resist or go with it. But yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent a little bit. But, back to depression. If you have depression, if you suffer from depression, don't just pump yourself with the medicine that they give you that pacifies it. It does not correct the problem. Try to, go within. Listen to yourself, because our spirit talks to us every day. We just don't listen. We're so afraid of sitting with it. We're so afraid of that pain. We're so afraid of, what it means. We're so afraid of having to face our truths. Maybe having to backtrack and apologize to some people, or maybe having to backtrack and tell some people that may have hurt you. Like the girl that's coming after Charlemagne, that's up for opinion of whether you believe her or not. But whatever the case, that baby hurting. And even if it wasn't him, I totally believe something happened at that party. Nobody I just don't, in my opinion, or anybody that is brave enough to come out and say, look, this happens and I need help. You know what I'm saying? I want justice or whatever. Anybody that's bold enough to come out and say what they have going on, I commend you. Especially in this day and age where social media is just so disrespectful. Like, you will be blasted for the next 10 years because social media, you'll turn into a meme like this. So if you are brave enough to do that, more power to you. Like, seriously, I'm laughing, but I'm serious. Like, that's a big deal. So, get help. Seek out help. If you work for a company that offers medical insurance, 9 times out of 10 they have what they call an employee assistance program that offers different things. So ask questions, talk to people. Some of them offer counseling for free through that program, or if you have Medicaid, they offer certain things. So ask questions, seek out the information. Don't just sit in it. Don't we have to stop being so passive about things as well, but that's a whole nother video. But I thank you guys for sitting with me and listening. If you've stuck around this long, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe if you care. And let's get the discussion popping. Let me know, your thoughts and opinion on it. Whether you want to talk about Michelle or Demi Lovato or even Charlemagne, any name that I mentioned in this video, because I was name dropping. But, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.